Why is T sometimes pronounced like D in American English? Why, in American English, is the word Italy is pronounced /tly/ and not /tly/? What is the rule that is followed in the pronunciation of Italy to make the letter T pronounced like a D? Why is the same rule not followed for Italian, which is pronounced /tljn/ or /itljn/?
First two questions. The pronunciation of some American English consonants can be quite different from British English, in particular for R and T. A T in the middle of a word can be pronounced as a soft D in American English, think of bottle, cattle, etc. See here, for examples of this. Third question. Why it does happen for Italy and not for Italian is clearly a matter of stress. If the stress is on the T, it usually keeps its pronunciation and is not changed into a soft D, thus /tly/ but /tljn/. Another example is, taken from the New Oxford American Dictionary, in Us English Pronunciation Tautology, /titly/ versus tautological, /tautological/, which clearly demonstrate that.
Not all Americans do, and not consistently. Flap T, D instead of T, often happens between vowel sounds or after a vowel and before a liquid. The T in teen is always pronounced as T, as Henry mentions. The reason is that flap rarely happens in stressed positions, as it doesn't happen in Italian. Here's good explanation of T pronounced D.
There's no /d/. It's /tly/ pronounced li, with alveolar flap in the pronunciation corresponding to phonemic T. It really is helpful, folks, to distinguish between phonemes and phones for a question like this. If the schwa is lost in casual pronunciation, since you can't say a flap right next to an L, the tongue tip has to come back down for a flap, the flap becomes D, idly, which does not happen in my pronunciation, but I've heard it.
The determination of the sound is usually in rhythm. Different English dialects have different rhythms for words, which causes letters to get assimilated, softened, and dropped. If you pronounce the T as T instead of D in a word like butter, the rhythm will be out of sync with American pronunciations. This is the same reason Brits often pronounce literally or literally instead of literally like Americans. They don't soften their T's and the rhythm of the E is faster in British English. As a result, the T sound is either emphasized or assimilated into the CH sound.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.